Aliens ignored the warnings about Earth's borders. Their entire fleet was never seen again. All life on Earth depended on the humans who watched the edge of their territory. For centuries, humans had avoided unnecessary conflicts, but they were ready to defend their home. "Sir," said Lieutenant Laura Benson, her voice calm but firm, "our sensors are detecting a large fleet approaching from the Voreth sector." Daniel's eyes narrowed. The Voreth were a well-known alien race, and they had been warned about Earth many times. Over the years, emissaries had been sent to the Voreth, delivering clear messages: "Do not cross the Earth's borders." But now the Voreth were ignoring all warnings. "Distance?" Daniel asked. 2 million kilometers, Laura replied. "They are moving fast and they have active cloaking shields, but we can see multiple ships, at least 100 in total." Daniel felt a chill. 100 Voreth warships were nothing to underestimate. Each ship could fire energy beams that could destroy cities. But humans had something the Voreth did not expect: determination and unpredictability. "Alert all sectors," Daniel ordered. "Prepare the Earth Defense Fleet. They will not take our home lightly." In the observation deck, Commander Alice Grant stood beside him. She had been in the fleet for over 20 years and had faced threats before, but this felt different. The Voreth had always been cautious near human space. To see them now, moving with complete disregard for Earth's warnings, was alarming. "They think we will back down," Alice said quietly. "They think Earth is soft." Daniel shook his head. "They will find out very soon they are wrong." Meanwhile, on Earth, millions watched the sky through space monitors. Families huddled together as news channels showed the incoming Voreth fleet. Children stared at the screens, unable to understand fully, but adults felt the tension in their bones. People like Tom and Megan Carter held hands tightly, hoping their loved ones in the fleet would return safely. In a distant command center on the edge of the solar system, Admiral Henry Collins issued orders with calm authority. Every human ship had been assigned a sector, and the defensive strategy had been rehearsed many times. "Remember," he said to his officers, "they think we are predictable. They think we are weak. We will show them the truth. Earth's borders are not for crossing." As the Voreth fleet advanced, they did not respond to any human signals. Holographic messages were sent, warning them to stop, but the alien ships moved without hesitation. Daniel and Alice exchanged a glance. They both knew the moment for words had passed. Action was coming. On board one of the Voreth ships, Commander Krall looked at his tactical displays. His eyes were narrow, his expression stern. "They have not reacted," he said. "The humans did not move when we passed the first border. Send the signal to approach closer." "Their compliance will be tested." A younger officer frowned. "Sir, the humans have been unpredictable. They might retaliate." Krall laughed softly. "Fear makes the weak hesitate. Humans are weak. We will see how long it takes before they surrender." But Krall did not know humans as well as he thought. Humans had survived worse. They had learned from every conflict, every invasion, every mistake. And now they were ready to defend not only their planet but their pride. Back on the Liberty, Daniel spoke to the fleet over secure channels. "All units, this is Captain Harper. The Voreth are approaching fast. Do not fire unless fired upon. Stay in formation. Remember, they have ignored every warning. We will show them that Earth does not tolerate trespassers." Alice monitored the sensors and tactical screens. "Captain, they are deploying drones ahead of their main fleet. They want to test our defenses." Daniel clenched his fists. "Then we will show them what humans can do." "Prepare countermeasures. Launch the orbital defense systems. Activate the decoy satellites. Every human on duty, stand ready." Far below, on Earth, scientists like Rachel and Philip Marshall worked frantically in underground bunkers. Their job was to support the fleet, guiding missiles, energy shields, and communications. The tension was palpable. Everyone knew the stakes. Failure meant destruction of Earth's key cities, millions of lives lost. Suddenly, the first signs of the Vorath attack appeared. Small, fast-moving drones zipped through space, scanning human defenses. Daniel watched them appear on the screen. He knew these were not the main threat, but they were designed to confuse and weaken Earth's fleet. "Engage the drones," Daniel ordered. "Do not let them breach the perimeter. Use the electromagnetic pulse cannons. Disable, do not destroy, conserve our ammunition for the main fleet." The human ships moved in perfect coordination. Laser beams and EMP waves created dazzling patterns across space. The Vorath drones faltered, unable to penetrate human defenses. Daniel felt a spark of hope. Humans were not just defending, they were thriving under pressure. On the Liberty, Daniel turned to Alice. "They are testing us. This is only the beginning. I need every officer on full alert. They think they can intimidate us, but humans do not flinch." Alice nodded. "Captain, if they continue to underestimate us, they will regret it. We have the advantage of knowing our own space. Every meter counts." The Vorath commander, Kral, watched as his drones failed. His anger rose. "Increase the fleet's speed, do not stop. We will break them with sheer numbers." Daniel observed the Vorath fleet's approach. Their formation was impressive, but the humans had something the Vorath did not: ingenuity. Using gravity wells, energy shields, and carefully timed attacks, humans created an invisible wall in space. The Vorath ships could not pass without risking damage. Alice studied the screens. "Captain, they are slowing down. They did not expect the human defense. Their calculations are off." Daniel allowed himself a small smile. "They still do not understand us. They still do not know that humans are willing to fight to the last breath for their home." Meanwhile, on Earth, civilians watched the news feeds. Panic was present, but alongside it was pride. They realized that humans were standing up against an alien fleet that had once seemed unstoppable. Messages poured in from children and adults alike: prayers, encouragement, and hope. As the sun rose on Earth's surface, Daniel reflected on human history. Humans had survived plagues, wars, and natural disasters. They had crossed oceans, climbed mountains, and walked on their own moon. Now they faced the stars themselves, defending not only their planet but their reputation. The first real clash of firepower was about to begin. The Vorath fleet, confident in its strength, had ignored the repeated warnings. Humans, patient and precise, were ready. And in that quiet moment before battle, Daniel knew one thing: Earth would not bow. "Prepare to engage the main fleet," Daniel ordered. "Let them see why no one crosses Earth's borders." Alice tightened her grip on the console. "This is it. The moment they realize humans are not just another species, they will learn why Earth is not for trespassers." Far away, the Vorath commander, Kral, underestimated the humans once again. He thought he could break their spirit with intimidation. But humans had never flinched before, and they would not flinch now. The first beams of energy from the Vorath fleet lit up space. Daniel and Alice braced themselves. The humans fired back. Space erupted in a dance of lights, shields, and explosions. It was a battle for survival, but more than that, it was a statement. Earth was ready. Humans were united. And the Vorath would soon learn that warnings ignored had consequences no one could predict. The silence of space shattered with flashes of light and explosions. The Vorath fleet had opened fire, confident their weapons would overwhelm the humans. But the Earth Defense Fleet was ready. Each ship moved with precision, dodging beams and returning fire with calculated strikes. Captain Daniel Harper gripped the railing on the Liberty's bridge. His eyes followed the movements of the Vorath ships. "Stay calm," he said to his crew. "They expect panic. Give them something they do not expect: human strategy." Lieutenant Laura Benson monitored the incoming energy blasts. "Captain, they are targeting the eastern quadrant. If they break through, they could reach the planetary shield stations." Daniel nodded. "Divert all reinforcements to that sector. Activate orbital defense cannons. Keep the shield stable." Commander Alice Grant moved quickly across the bridge, issuing orders. All ships focus fire on their lead ship, disable it first. We cannot let them coordinate their attacks freely. The human fleet worked like a single organism. Each ship knew its role. Missiles streaked through space, energy beams flared, and decoy drones spun into the path of Vorath fire. Despite being outnumbered, the humans forced the aliens to split their attacks, weakening their impact. On Earth, in the control centers, scientists watched every second. Rachel Marshall and her team calculated trajectories, guiding defense satellites and lasers to intercept Vorath missiles. Each successful interception brought a small cheer, but they knew the fight had just begun. Meanwhile, the Vorath commander, Krall, watched the results with growing anger. Their defenses are stronger than we expected. Increase power to all weapons. Destroy the human fleet before it grows stronger. A younger Vorath officer hesitated. Sir, our energy beams are still hitting their shields, but the humans are adapting. They are moving faster than predicted. Krall slammed his clawed hand on the console. Adaptation is no match for numbers. Fire everything. The Vorath ships surged forward, trying to surround the human fleet. But humans had anticipated this. Daniel had predicted the Vorath's aggression pattern and had prepared a counter. The Liberty and other flagship vessels pulled back, luring the Vorath into a narrow corridor of space where Earth's gravity wells created unexpected hazards. Alice observed the enemy's confusion. Captain, they didn't calculate the gravitational field. Their ships are slowing down and colliding with minor debris. We have the advantage. Daniel smiled grimly. Good, keep pressing. Make them pay for every meter they try to take. Small explosions lit the corridor as Vorath ships struck debris or each other in confusion. Humans used this chaos to strike precisely, disabling enemy engines and communications. One by one, the Vorath ships started falling back, not due to fear, but because they could not maintain formation. On board the Liberty, the crew worked tirelessly. Engineers repaired minor damages while gunners recalibrated weapons. Humans thrived under pressure. They did not panic. They did not break. Every action was purposeful. Alice turned to Daniel. Captain, if we continue like this, we can split their fleet. Once they are divided, we can push them back entirely. Daniel nodded. Prepare the secondary fleet. We will hit their flanks. They underestimate humans. They always do. Across the battlefield, smaller human ships darted in and out of enemy fire, striking weak points in Vorath hulls. The humans used speed and agility, something the larger Vorath ships could not match. One squadron of human fighters, led by Commander Ryan Clark, performed daring maneuvers, slipping between beams and disabling 3 Vorath cruisers in a single pass. Krall's frustration boiled over. They are too fast. They are too clever. Increase energy to maximum. Deploy all drones. But every new attack the Vorath tried was met with human ingenuity. The Liberty deployed decoy drones that emitted false signals, confusing enemy targeting systems. Satellites above Earth created magnetic pulses that disrupted Vorath communications. Humans were not just defending, they were fighting smarter than the aliens had expected. In one critical moment, a Vorath battleship aimed a massive beam directly at Earth's capital shield station. The beam would have destroyed it in seconds. Daniel did not hesitate. Laura, calculate the intercept. Alice, prepare the ion cannons. We cannot let that strike land. Laura worked quickly, her fingers flying across the console. Captain, trajectory set, firing in 3, 2, 1. The ion cannons fired, hitting the Vorath ship's energy core. The beam faltered and dissipated harmlessly into space. Alice smiled. Direct hit. Shields are safe. Meanwhile, civilians on Earth watched the battle through live feeds. People like Marcus and Hannah Williams clung to each other as flashes of light illuminated the night sky. Even those far from the coasts could feel the tremors of space artillery and the explosions far above. Yet hope replaced fear as they saw human ships holding the line. Back on the Voreth command ship, Krall's face twisted in anger and disbelief. How can they fight like this? They are not afraid. Their ships are holding against superior firepower. A Voreth officer, quiet but observant, spoke up. "Sir, perhaps we underestimated their capability. They fight with strategy, not just numbers," Krall growled. "Strategy is meaningless without power. Crush them with numbers." But the humans did not rely solely on power. Daniel had taught them to use every advantage, to turn every weakness into strength. When the Voreth pressed harder, humans pulled back, only to strike from unexpected angles. When the Voreth focused on one sector, humans attacked from another. Commander Ryan Clark led another squadron, slipping behind the enemy's left flank. Using cloaking maneuvers and precision targeting, they disabled key engines on 4 Voreth warships. The enemy's formation faltered again, leaving gaps for human capital ships to strike with concentrated fire. Alice watched the screens with satisfaction. "Captain, their fleet is losing cohesion. They did not expect humans to fight like this." Daniel nodded, his jaw tight. "They will remember today. This is not just defense. This is a lesson in human resilience." Even as the Voreth attempted new strategies, humans adapted instantly. Small tactical teams coordinated with orbital stations, relaying information in real time. Missiles and energy pulses flew with perfect timing. Every Voreth attack was met with a counterattack designed to exploit weakness. Krall could feel his plan unraveling. He had expected fear. He had expected surrender. Instead, he faced determination, skill, and courage unlike anything he had seen before. On board the Liberty, Daniel addressed the crew. "They think they are stronger. They think they can intimidate us. But humans do not back down. We will push them out of our space. We will defend every border, every station, every life. Fight with honor. Fight with courage. Fight like humans." The fleet roared in response, not with words but with the coordinated fire of their weapons, their shields flashing in synchronized patterns, their movements precise and deadly. The battle raged for hours. Each strike, each maneuver, each decision mattered. Humans adapted, learned, and struck back faster than the Voreth could predict. Ships that should have fallen continued to fight. Commanders on both sides were exhausted, but the humans' determination never wavered. Finally, after repeated strikes, one Voreth battleship exploded in a brilliant burst of fire and debris. The explosion illuminated the space around it, signaling the first major victory for the humans. Daniel allowed himself a small moment of relief but knew the battle was far from over. Alice spoke quietly beside him. "Captain, they are starting to retreat in small groups. They underestimated humans and now they are paying the price." Daniel looked at the screens, seeing the Voreth fleet breaking formation, some ships retreating, others disabled. "This is only the beginning. We have shown them we will not flinch. Earth is defended, but we must remain vigilant. They will not give up easily." Far on Earth, civilians cheered as the news reported the first successes of the human fleet. Even though the battle continued in space, people felt hope. Humans were holding their ground. Humans were proving themselves. Humans were showing the galaxy why Earth was not to be crossed. And somewhere, deep in the Voreth fleet, Krall realized for the first time that humans were not weak, not foolish, and not easily intimidated. They were strong. They were clever. They were unstoppable when defending their home. The fight was far from over, but one truth became clear. The Voreth had made a grave mistake. They had ignored the warnings about Earth's borders. And now, they were learning the cost of that mistake in a way no alien had ever imagined. The battle in space raged on for hours. Human ships darted between enemy fire, striking with precise timing. The Voreth fleet, once confident in their strength and numbers, now struggled to maintain cohesion. Their ships moved erratically, trying to regroup, but humans anticipated each maneuver. Captain Daniel Harper leaned over the console of the Liberty, scanning the battlefield. Alice, focus on their command vessels. If we take out their leadership, the rest will crumble. Ryan, lead your squadron and create a diversion on the right flank. Force them to split. Commander Alice Grant nodded. Understood, Captain. All units coordinate for a concentrated strike on enemy command ships. Timing is everything. We cannot waste this opportunity. Lieutenant Laura Benson adjusted the targeting systems. Captain, the Vorath are reacting but slower than expected. Their shields are weakening. If we push hard now, we can break through. Daniel's jaw tightened. Then we push. Every ship fire on my mark. Focus your fire, conserve energy, and strike true. The humans moved like a single living organism. The smaller fighters flanked, using speed and agility to confuse the enemy, while larger capital ships delivered devastating concentrated blasts. Commander Ryan Clark's squadron zipped past enemy defenses, weaving between beams and debris, and struck the left flank of the Vorath fleet. Explosions lit up space as enemy ships were disabled or forced to retreat. Ryan's team executed the maneuver with precision, showing courage and skill that even Daniel admired. On board the Liberty, Daniel spoke over the fleet network. We are gaining ground. Do not slow down, push them back. Show them that humans do not surrender, not here, not anywhere. Alice monitored the Vorath fleet. Captain, their formation is breaking. They are confused and uncoordinated. Their numbers no longer overwhelm us. We have the advantage. The Vorath commander, Kral, roared in frustration as he watched his fleet struggle. What is this? They should have fallen by now. Increase energy to all weapons. Destroy them. But the humans were not only defending. They were counterattacking in ways the Vorath did not anticipate. Earth's fleet used gravity wells to redirect missiles, deployed decoy satellites, and coordinated beam strikes that hit multiple targets simultaneously. Humans adapted instantly to every new Vorath tactic. Daniel turned to Alice. Prepare the orbital energy cannons. Fire at will when I give the order. We will break their command center and their fleet will scatter. Alice nodded and started the sequence. The orbital energy cannons powered up, beams of pure energy slicing through the darkness of space. The first shot struck a Vorath command vessel, crippling its engines and communications. The ship drifted helplessly, its crew panicked. Direct hit, Alice said. Other vessels are faltering. They are losing cohesion rapidly. The human fleet pressed their advantage. Missile strikes and energy beams disabled several more Vorath ships. The alien fleet, once a symbol of unstoppable power, now looked disorganized and vulnerable. In one daring maneuver, Ryan Clark led his squadron directly into the center of the enemy fleet. Using precise calculations, they targeted weak points in Vorath armor. The result was catastrophic for the aliens. Ships exploded in bright bursts, scattering debris across space. Kral's anger reached a peak. They are too clever, they are too fast, retreat and regroup. But retreat was too late. Humans had already anticipated it. Daniel ordered human ships to cut off Vorath escape routes, using rapid maneuvers and long-range missiles. The enemy fleet could not move without entering a deadly crossfire. On Earth, civilians watched live feeds of the battle. The night sky was filled with bright explosions as the Vorath ships fell one by one. Families like the Marshalls and the Carters cheered. Fear was replaced with awe. Humans were not just defending, they were dominating. Commander Alice Grant adjusted her console. Captain, their last formation is scattering. They have no plan. We are overwhelming them. If we press now, the Vorath will retreat completely. Daniel gave the order. All ships full attack. Focus on any remaining command vessels. Do not allow them to regroup. Earth will not tolerate trespassers. The humans moved with perfect coordination. Laser beams cut through enemy ships, missiles struck in synchronized patterns, and fighters disabled any Vorath vessels attempting to escape. One by one, The Vorath ships were destroyed, disabled, or forced to flee in disarray. In the chaos, smaller human crews executed acts of courage that would be remembered for generations. Lieutenant Megan Hayes piloted her fighter through a tight formation of enemy ships, releasing a payload that crippled their central engine. Sergeant Kyle Turner led a boarding team that disabled a Vorath warship from the inside, ensuring it could never fire again. Even Krall, the Vorath commander, realized the humans were beyond what he had imagined. "Impossible," he muttered. "They fight as one. They think and act as one. They are relentless." Daniel watched the battlefield and allowed himself a small smile. Humans had done what the Vorath never expected. They had adapted, learned, and outsmarted the aliens at every turn. "They still think numbers matter," he said quietly. "They do not understand the power of human will." The final blow came as the Liberty and its supporting ships focused all remaining firepower on the central Vorath fleet. Energy beams, missiles, and ion cannons hit in perfect sequence. Ships exploded, weapons systems failed, and communication networks were destroyed. The Vorath had no choice but to retreat completely. Krall's command ship was the last to withdraw. Its systems were damaged, its crew demoralized. For the first time in history, the Vorath had been beaten by humans. They had underestimated the determination, intelligence, and resilience of Earth's defenders. On board the Liberty, the crew cheered quietly. Daniel turned to Alice and Ryan. "We have won this battle, but the war for Earth's safety continues. Today, we proved something important. Humans will not bow. Humans will not flinch. And anyone who crosses Earth's borders will learn the same lesson." Alice smiled. "They will remember this, Captain. The galaxy will remember this. Earth is defended, and humans are not to be underestimated." Even civilians on Earth felt the pride. Across continents, people celebrated the news. Humans had faced an advanced alien fleet and survived. Humans had fought with strategy, courage, and unity, and humans had emerged victorious. But Daniel knew better than to celebrate too soon. "This is only the beginning," he said. "They may return, they may send others, but we have shown them what Earth can do. And we will be ready." The Vorath fleet disappeared beyond the edge of known space, leaving behind wreckage and confusion. Humans had not only defended their planet, they had sent a message across the galaxy. Earth's borders were not for trespassing. Commander Alice Grant looked at the stars. "They thought they could intimidate us. They thought we would surrender. They were wrong." Daniel placed his hand on her shoulder. "They always are. Humans do not give up. Humans do not back down, and humans will never be controlled. Not by them, not by anyone." And in the quiet aftermath, as Earth's fleet repaired and regrouped, one truth was clear. Humans had turned the tide. They had faced a powerful alien fleet and emerged victorious. The galaxy would take notice. And the Vorath would never forget the day they underestimated Earth. The Vorath fleet had begun to retreat, but Captain Daniel Harper knew better than to let them go easily. Humans had survived countless threats before, and today they had the advantage. The Liberty and the rest of the fleet pushed forward, determined to show the Vorath that Earth would not tolerate intrusion. "Prepare all ships for pursuit," Daniel ordered. "We will not let them recover. Every ship must engage, every weapon ready." Commander Alice Grant nodded. "Captain, the enemy is trying to regroup at the edge of the asteroid field. We can trap them if we move carefully." Daniel studied the tactical map. The Vorath were attempting to escape into a dense field of space debris, hoping to break formation. But humans were faster, smarter, and more adaptable. "Set a perimeter," he instructed. "We will force them into a narrow corridor. There, they cannot maneuver freely." Lieutenant Laura Benson activated the fleet tracking systems. "Captain, we have full coverage. Every Vorath ship is accounted for. We can anticipate their moves before they even make them." Daniel allowed himself a small smile. "Good. Then we will show them the cost of ignoring Earth's borders." Across the fleet, human pilots prepared for one final decisive strike. Commander Ryan Clark led a squadron of fighters, each ship equipped with high-speed thrusters and precision targeting systems. Their mission was clear: disable as many Voreth ships as possible and prevent their escape. "Squadron, this is it," Ryan said over comms. "We hit hard, we hit fast, and we never stop. Keep your focus. Every ship you save is a victory for Earth." The human fleet advanced. The asteroid field loomed ahead, jagged and dangerous. Voreth ships entered the field, hoping to use it as cover, but humans had anticipated this. Using advanced navigation systems, Daniel guided the fleet around the field, positioning ships to block escape routes. On board the Liberty, Alice monitored the movements. "Captain, their engines are slowing as they navigate the field. Perfect. Our trap is working." Daniel turned to the communication officer. "Send a warning. Let them know surrender is an option. Make it clear we prefer no unnecessary loss of life." The Voreth commander, Krall, laughed bitterly as the message appeared on his screens. "Surrender, humans, never." Daniel shook his head. "They still do not understand. Humans fight to survive, but they do not kill needlessly. That is their strength." As the fleets drew closer, the first strike came from human orbital cannons. Beams of concentrated energy sliced through the debris, hitting Voreth ships that were trying to navigate the field. Explosions lit the void, sending fragments of enemy hulls spinning through space. Commander Alice Grant guided fighter squadrons through the chaos. Ryan hit their engines. "Disable any ship that tries to escape. Megan, cover the left flank. Laura, continue monitoring for weak points." Fighter pilots zipped through the asteroid field with incredible precision. Ryan's squadron struck Voreth engines, while Megan Hayes led a team to disable communication systems. The Voreth fleet was becoming disorganized and panicked. Krall's frustration grew. "Stop them! Fire everything! Do not let them split our fleet." But humans had already split the Voreth forces. Using coordinated attacks, they targeted weak ships first, then moved on to the more powerful ones. Each strike was calculated, each move anticipated. Humans adapted to every new situation with skill and speed. Lieutenant Laura Benson spoke over the comms. "Captain, we can push them further. Their shields are failing. Their weapons are down to half power. We have the advantage." Daniel nodded. "Then we press. All ships full attack. Show them Earth's strength." The human fleet surged forward. Missiles streaked across space, hitting Voreth cruisers with precision. Ion cannons disabled engines. Energy beams cut through armor. Every move was coordinated, leaving the Voreth with no safe path. Even civilians on Earth could see the battle unfold. Across the planet, millions watched live feeds. Families huddled together, cheering as human ships pressed the attack. The news called it the defense of a planet and the beginning of humanity's legend. Within the Voreth fleet, chaos reigned. Ships collided with debris, engines overheated, and communication was nearly impossible. Krall's voice cracked in anger as he tried to regain control. "Hold formation. Fight. You cannot let them win." But it was too late. Humans had calculated every move, anticipating Voreth strategies. One by one, the alien ships were disabled. Fighter pilots risked their lives, moving in and out of enemy fire to deliver critical strikes. Commander Ryan Clark executed a daring maneuver, flying directly between two Voreth cruisers. Using a concentrated missile strike, he destroyed their central reactor. The explosion was massive, lighting up the asteroid field and sending fragments of the alien ships hurtling into space. Alice cheered. "They are falling apart. The Voreth cannot recover. We have them where we want." Daniel addressed the fleet. "This is the moment we prove that Earth is defended. We fight not just for survival but for our honor. Push forward. Do not let them escape." The human fleet advanced in perfect coordination. Missiles, beams, and fighter strikes tore through the remaining Voreth ships. One by one, they were destroyed or rendered inoperable. The enemy could not regroup. The humans had taken full control of the battle. Krall realized the inevitable. His fleet was shattered, his command ship damaged, and for the first time he felt fear. Retreat. Retreat now, he shouted, but even retreat was futile. Humans anticipated every escape route. Using orbital weapons, rapid-fire missiles, and fighter patrols, they blocked every path. The Voreth fleet was trapped, overwhelmed, and completely outmatched. On board the Liberty, Daniel watched as the last Voreth ships fell. Alice, report. They are retreating in small numbers. Most of their fleet is destroyed or disabled. Earth is secure. The crew of the Liberty erupted in quiet cheers. Daniel allowed himself a deep breath. Humans had not only defended their planet, they had struck back decisively, showing the galaxy the power of Earth's people. Even the civilians on Earth celebrated. Across continents, people cheered, hugged, and wept with joy. Humans had faced a powerful alien fleet and not only survived, they had triumphed. Daniel turned to Alice. They thought they could intimidate us. They thought Earth was weak. They were wrong. Humanity is strong. Humanity is clever. Humanity does not bow. Alice smiled. They will never forget today. The galaxy will not forget, and humans will be ready if they ever return. Meanwhile, small squads of human ships continued to clean up the battlefield. Disabled Vorath vessels were either destroyed or captured. Engineers worked to salvage alien technology, learning from every piece. Humans had not only defended their home, they had gained knowledge that would make them stronger in the future. Commander Ryan Clark returned to the Liberty. Captain, our fighters have disabled the last enemy ships. They are scattered, fleeing, or destroyed. Earth's borders are clear. Daniel nodded. Excellent. Begin full system checks. Report damages. Prepare for any possible counterattack. But for now, humans have shown their strength. Today, we have sent a message across the stars. And in the quiet after the battle, as humans repaired their ships and celebrated their victory, one truth was clear. The Voreth had underestimated Earth. They had ignored warnings. And they had paid a heavy price. Earth's borders were safe. Humans had proven their courage, intelligence, and unity. And the galaxy would never again assume that humans were weak, predictable, or easy to defeat. Daniel gazed at the stars, knowing more challenges would come. But humans had learned something invaluable. When defending their home, no force in the galaxy could match their will. Alice stood beside him, watching the remnants of the Voreth fleet retreat. They thought they could intimidate us, but humans never give up. Daniel nodded, and they never will. For the first time in history, humans had faced a superior alien fleet, adapted, fought with ingenuity, and struck back decisively. The galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget. Earth was defended, humans were strong. And no one would dare cross its borders again. The Voreth fleet had vanished beyond the edge of known space, leaving behind a trail of debris and destroyed ships. Earth's fleet moved carefully through the battlefield, scanning for any signs of returning enemies. Captain Daniel Harper stood on the bridge of the Liberty, looking at the stars. The silence of space after such chaos was both calming and strange. Commander Alice Grant came up beside him. They are gone for now, Captain. The immediate threat is over. Daniel shook his head slowly. Gone, yes, but the galaxy has seen what humans are capable of. Today, the Voreth learned a lesson they will not forget, and I suspect others will remember it too. In the aftermath of battle, human engineers worked tirelessly to repair damaged ships and recover salvageable alien technology. Lieutenant Laura Benson coordinated the teams, analyzing Voreth engines, weapons systems, and communication devices. Each piece of technology recovered provided insight into the alien tactics and advanced systems. This technology, it's incredible, Laura said quietly. We can learn so much from this. We could improve our ships, our shields, even our weapons. Daniel nodded. That's exactly why we fought today. Not just to defend our planet, but to grow stronger. Knowledge is a weapon, too. On Earth, news broadcasts showed the public what had happened. Families, children, and civilians from every corner of the globe watched the footage of human ships engaging the Vorath. Cities erupted with celebrations. People cheered for the soldiers and pilots who had risked everything. Humanity had faced a force that could have destroyed them, and yet they had prevailed. Marcus and Hannah Williams hugged each other as the news anchor reported the human victory. "I can't believe it," Hannah whispered. "They actually did it. They defended Earth." Marcus nodded, eyes shining. "They showed the galaxy what humans are made of. We're stronger than anyone imagined." Back on the Liberty, Daniel addressed the fleet over the communication channels. "All ships, report status. All systems operational." "Mostly, sir," came Ryan Clark's voice. "Minor damage on a few fighters, but nothing we can't fix. All Vorath ships destroyed or fleeing. We've secured the area." Daniel allowed himself a rare smile. "Excellent. Begin full repairs and recovery operations. Ensure every crew member is safe and accounted for. Then we report back to Earth Command. But remember, today was more than just a battle. It was a message, and it must be delivered clearly." Alice leaned on the console. "They ignored warnings, underestimated us, and now they know better. Do you think the Vorath will ever come back?" Daniel considered this. "Perhaps, but if they do, they will think twice." Today, humanity showed the galaxy that we do not bow, we do not flinch, and we will not surrender. Any who test our borders again will meet the same fate. Even as the fleet repaired, small teams of human ships scouted the area, recovering Vorath technology and studying the remnants of enemy ships. Scientists like Rachel Marshall and Philip Allen worked closely with the fleet, examining alien systems and learning from them. Every discovery strengthened Earth's defenses for the future. "Captain, some of the Vorath ships left automated data cores behind," Laura Benson reported. "We can extract valuable information about their tactics, fleet formations, and technology." Daniel nodded. "Good. Every piece we recover makes us stronger. Every lesson learned today prepares us for tomorrow." Across the planet, celebrations continued. Streets were filled with people waving flags, singing and cheering for humanity's victory. The world felt united, proud, and more confident than ever before. This was not just a military victory, it was a human victory, a proof that people could overcome even the most advanced alien threats with courage, intelligence, and unity. In the quiet moments aboard the Liberty, Daniel spoke with Ryan Clark. "You led your squadron brilliantly. Your maneuvers were daring and precise. The Vorath didn't know what hit them." Ryan shrugged modestly. "We just did what we had to do, sir. Humans don't back down." "We fight smart, not just hard," Daniel smiled. "That's exactly what makes us different. Other species may rely on strength or numbers, but humans rely on ingenuity, determination, and courage. That's why Earth stands today." Alice joined them. "And that's why we'll always be ready. They may return someday, but they'll never underestimate humans again." Meanwhile, messages were sent across space from Earth's fleet to any listening species. Humans had defended their home, humans were united, and humans were not to be trifled with. The galaxy had witnessed the power of Earth, and the story of the battle would spread quickly. Kral, the Vorath commander, returned to his home system, humiliated and defeated. His fleet was shattered, his ships lost, and his pride wounded. He could not believe that humans, a species he had considered weak and primitive, had decimated his fleet. "They are not to be underestimated," he muttered to his officers. "We ignored their warnings and we paid the price. Never again will I underestimate humanity." Back on Earth, the fleet returned to orbit, docking and repairing ships. Daniel and Alice walked through the corridors of the Liberty, observing the crews working together. There was a quiet pride in the air. Humans had not only defended their planet but had grown stronger from the challenge. In the Fleet Command Center, Admiral Henry Collins addressed the officers. "Today, humanity sent a message across the galaxy. We will defend our home. We will fight with intelligence, strategy, and courage. We have faced a superior force and emerged victorious. Remember this day. Remember what humans can do when united. Civilians continued to honor the heroes. Schools, families, and communities held ceremonies. Pilots like Ryan Clark, engineers like Laura Benson, and officers like Alice Grant and Daniel Harper became symbols of humanity's strength and spirit. Children asked their parents questions about the battle, dreaming of one day joining the fleet. "Mom, Dad, can humans really fight aliens like that?" a young boy asked. His mother smiled. "Yes, and we did it together. Humans are clever, brave, and united. That's why Earth is safe." Daniel reflected quietly in his quarters, looking at the stars. He thought of the fleet, the crews, the civilians, and the courage shown by everyone. Humans had faced impossible odds and prevailed. They had proven that Earth's borders were not to be crossed. They had proven that humans were strong, adaptable, and relentless when defending their home. Alice entered quietly. "Captain, the fleet is resting, systems are repaired, and Earth is safe for now." Daniel nodded. "For now, but today is a victory we must remember. We have shown the galaxy that humans are not weak. We have shown them that crossing Earth's borders comes at a cost no one is willing to pay lightly." Alice smiled. "And they will remember it. They will talk about today for generations." Daniel looked out at the stars, his eyes steady. "Good, let them remember. Let them fear the strength of humans when we protect what is ours. And let them know we do not flinch, we do not surrender, and we do not bow. Humanity stands." Across the galaxy, other species took note. Humans had fought bravely, fought smart, and emerged victorious. Earth had sent a message that would echo through star systems. Humanity was not to be trifled with. The survivors of the Vorath fleet returned home, forever changed. They would tell tales of the human fleet, of the ingenuity, courage, and strength that had destroyed their ships. They would never again underestimate Earth or the species that defended it. And on Earth, the people celebrated not just a victory, but the spirit of humanity itself. Captain Daniel Harper, Commander Alice Grant, Lieutenant Laura Benson, and pilots like Ryan Clark became legends. Scientists, engineers, and every person who contributed to the defense became heroes. For the first time, the galaxy truly saw what humans were capable of. They had defended their home with courage, intelligence, and unity. They had faced a superior alien fleet and struck back decisively. And they had sent a message that would never be forgotten. Earth was defended. Humans were strong. And no one, no matter how powerful, would ever cross their borders again. Daniel turned to Alice one last time before leaving the bridge. "They will never forget us." Alice nodded. "No one will. Today, humans wrote a new story in the stars." And as the fleet sailed home, repaired and ready for the future, one thing was certain. The galaxy had seen the face of human strength. Earth was safe, and humanity's place among the stars had been earned, not by chance but by courage, intelligence, and determination. The stars were quiet again, but the echoes of the battle would travel forever. Humans had defended their home, proven their worth, and sent a message to the universe. They would never flinch. They would never bow. They would never surrender.